Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What a pleasure it is. It's Oops, I Missed Church on KMZN 99.5 FM, 740 AM, and all over the world at radiokmzn.com.
Worldwide.
Every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m., and also the internet. It's a pleasure to be here, YouTube, as well as the listening ears of the lovely folks in Iowa and all over the world. I could just keep talking and talking and talking and never let my guests talk, but I'm going to ask each of you a first question. I want you to answer it individually, okay?
Individually, all right.
The question is,
Do that.
who are you?
Who are you?
I am the one, the only, the lovely
Okay.
Miss Sharon.
Woo, 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 woo. Heck yeah.
And I'm Luke.
Right on.
Just
That's
Luke.
perfect. Luke.
Just Luke. That's all
And you guys, you're local San Antonio musicians.
Yes,
That is
sir.
correct.
Amazing.
That's what we are.
You're more than that, too, though.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
We try to be.
Of course. And you succeed.
We
But
try to be.
we could talk about it now or we could talk about it later. I've already mentioned that you're musicians.
Yes.
So we could talk about the fact that in 2 days, well, actually, not yesterday, but the day before,
Exactly.
when folks are hearing this,
Right.
we had a release.
We sure
Go ahead,
did.
tell me
Sure
about
did.
that. What do we got, guys?
Well, on Friday, Valentine's Day, the day of love, we dropped my first debut album, and
Heck
it's
yeah.
called La Artista.
Ooh.
And it's basically a play on Latin culture and loteria. If you're not familiar, loteria is basically bingo, just Mexican. And a bunch
Mexican
of
bingo.
different Mexican characters doing what they do best.
How do you say it again?
Loteria, or the album
Lotadira?
name. Loteria.
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 Like
Yes.
lottery.
Like
Spanish word
lottery.
for lottery.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
loteria.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
a compilation of different Mexican icons and Mexican culture in a bingo type.
Instead of saying
Wow.
B15, you say La Chalupa.
La
or
Chalupa, El Borracho,
All of them, yeah.
all
Like-
of them.
La
So you're
chalupa,
calling-
like a chalupa, like the taco kind of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it has my
I'm
album.
so unfamiliar. Man.
Right. So my
Yeah.
album is we did an original Loteria game card based off of the songs that I did on my album.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So with the same artwork style, we
Yeah.
did a card for each song. On the
Nice.
album.
How many songs you got on the album?
We have 9 songs technically.
Nice.
There's 8 songs that we tracked, me and Luke.
Okay.
And then there's one song that I wrote a few years back that's just a very bare acoustic
iPhone
raw.
voice memo.
Yes.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Classic, you know.
Voice memo demo.
Absolutely.
exactly,
That's cool.
exactly.
Ah, right on, you guys. So you've both been making music for a while.
Yes.
Yep.
How old were you when you started making music?
I'll let you start that one. How old are you?
That's a good question. I probably started in 2008, 2009.
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
23 now, here in 2020, so y'all do the math. but
10 years, 11 years,
something like that.
He said
12
y'all.
years? That's cool, man.
Right, I don't want to figure that out. But,
So you started when you were like 10, 11?
I was a kid. My parents got me a guitar for Christmas, and they got me
Nice.
the Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction album. And I was like, I want to be like Slash.
Rock
I'm going to
and
learn
roll,
how to
dude.
play like that. And I never quite got there, but
No, you're on your
Yes,
way,
he
man.
did.
Yeah, you're
I was
already
inspired
there.
by that.
Hold
I was
on.
inspired by that. But
He
Yeah.
plays, as we call him backslash for
Okay.
a Guns N' Roses cover band.
Do you actually play for a Guns N' Roses cover
it's in
band?
the works. We're in the
Oh my
works working
gosh.
on that.
Amazing.
But that's besides
I
the
love
point.
when he downplays himself. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm
I
here
do
to
that
be
a
like,
lot.
No,
Yeah.
that's good, man.
Yes, he does.
I feel that. I mean, you want to
But-
be humble, yeah?
Right. I started when I was a kid. I had that album, and I just kind of got addicted to it. My parents got a Mac computer, and I was like, hey, this has GarageBand on it. I can
Man.
record a couple tracks of me playing with myself and, try and come up with something to show somebody. And that's kind of how it all started. It was just me kind of by myself working on things that I thought were cool. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? This is not all by myself. I want to do it with,
Want to share it, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bring it out, share it, and then also have other artists come in. And I like to help other artists too,
Collaborate.
because I'm not the
Yeah.
most creative, but I like to help other
that's
people
something
too.
I've noticed too. Is just like creating with others does something like to the whole process
Right.
and the outcome. You know, where like if you can get more than one person involved in something, it brings so much life to it. You know, and like
Different
creates
energy.
An
yeah.
outside
Well, there's just like
perspective,
a
for sure.
yeah. There's just an alternative view and perspective, and I feel like
Right.
that's so. I don't know. That's what's so amazing about like really, really solo artists,
Yes.
you know, that do everything by themselves.
Yes.
Like, I think that's really impressive, but I think one of my most favorite things about art is how collaborative it can be.
Right.
sure.
And like, man, if you can get people together for a band, you can get people together for some art project of some kind. I mean, it's really endless.
Right.
And I just love relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is, the best. And for this album specifically, I have him who's so into rock and roll, and then there's the polar opposite where he's into Tejano music, and
Yeah.
we have Mike Aguilar. Shout out to Mike Aguilar, who's
Shout out,
also
Mike.
it's the trio, the trifecta, as I
Of
call it,
course.
on this album, and it's all people who grew up on different music, but in the center, we all share, one common ground, and it's perspectives. We go into this album completely in a blank state, and we all bring in our experiences and what music we like, our influences, our energies, what everything we like, and then all of a sudden it becomes this like amazing.
They say San Antonio is like a great melting pot of all cultures because you have all different kinds of people here,
Right.
and that's kind of not what we try to embody, but just it kind of represents what we've done.
Right.
Like
We
we all come from different
naturally-
backgrounds.
Right.
We hear different music, but it's a collaboration. It's like a giant pot of soup. Everybody throws something in, and like
Yeah.
it
I think
makes it
that's-
unique.
That's something about San Antonio that I've recognized in particular is the diversity alone, right? Because you've got so much Latino culture because we're so close to Mexico,
For sure.
and it's amazing.
Amazing.
And then just because it's in Texas almost, it's like you're getting so many people
Right.
from all over the place
Right.
that are so different, and it creates such a beautiful mixture of
awesome.
all these wild and crazy people, you know?
So you have Austin, and Austin is, let's get weird. And then
Of
you
course.
have Dallas, which is more, a little more high end, a little more bougie. And then here's San Antonio coming in, and we're just like
I like the
this beautiful, fun, what's the
Eccentric?
word? Eccentric.
yeah, you got it.
Just-
You know, have you seen those stickers that say "Keep San Antonio lame"?
Yeah, for sure.
No!
I've seen those for sure.
I love
Like, you know
them.
how Austin has the
I
keep
love
Austin
that,
weird or whatever.
yes.
Like San Antonio is like
Well,
we
there's
have our own unique
like-
culture, but we're not Austin. We don't have that
No,
many
we're not
people,
out
like-
there.
Well,
We just
Austin-
are.
Austin sort of feels like Hollywood, Texas, you know?
Right.
Oh,
if Texas had a
what
Hollywood,
a beautiful
yeah,
of
way
course,
to
right?
put
That's a great
that.
way to put
That's
it.
And
an
then
amazing way to
San
put it.
Antonio is like the basement
It's
of
just like,
Hollywood,
what's going
where
on,
they're like,
fellas?
you know what?
You're right.
We're just hanging out. You're like,
Yes.
keep it lame. You don't need to
I
get crazy.
love
You don't need to
that.
get wild. Just and you can because that can be lame
Austin,
in a way, right?
Dallas and Houston, they're all like high key cities.
Yes.
San Antonio is coming up for sure, and I
It
love that. I
is.
love my cities coming up, but we're always the one that's overlooked. You
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
big three, and the people take us into
I
consideration.
think that's kind of one of the beauties of it, though, is like it's under the radar,
for
sort of.
sure.
So we
For
can
sure.
It
do
is.
whatever
It is
we
very
want.
touristy.
We're still
Like-
sculpting.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the most touristy.
Don't forget about
cities
the
in
Alamo.
The Alamo, the Riverwalk, all these things.
The
You know.
River Walk.
Why do you do that? Why do you put quotations?
Because it's not a river.
I mean, it's the San Antonio River,
it's our-
right?
It's our crown jewel.
But I know what
It
you
is
mean.
our
Like,
crown
do you mean like
jewel.
the Alamo's the crown jewel? Don't be
I know.
crazy. Come on.
They're all right there, all together in
Never
the same
forget.
plaza.
yeah.
Have you ever seen the video of Steve-O jumping into our
You know
river?
what? I actually haven't, but I'm glad he didn't break a leg
He
because
almost did.
it's got to be
It's
really
not that deep,
shallow,
dude.
It's
It's
right?
like 7 or 8
super
feet.
shallow.
That's
the
why-
actual- that's why
I
you
guess
say
it is,
river.
right? I guess it is a river.
It's still part of the
since it's
water
so
system,
shallow.
but it's like just the shallow portion, right? Man, you guys ever been to Iowa?
No,
I have not. I've
No,
been to
really.
Ohio. That's the closest
Oh,
I've
yep.
got.
I've never.
course.
I've never even have an idea of what I would do in Iowa.
Oh, there's a lot of things to do.
I'm sure there's
going
But
yeah,
it's
interesting
very-
stuff going on.
It's pretty rural, you know, pretty spread out. Hey, can you say rural juror?
What'd you say?
Rural.
The rural
Juror.
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 Rural juror.
Rural
juror.
It's on a Parks and Rec episode where they're like, it's some screenplay or something or a play called The Rural Juror.
Rural juror.
And you cannot say it more than once. Like, it's really difficult.
If you can say it too much.
If you could say it at all.
We were
yeah.
practicing tongue twisters before we came
That's
in
all he
here.
was.
Oh, good.
Unique
Rural
New York.
juror.
Yeah.
Rural juror.
The skeleton was denied a bank loan.
See, he
right?
knows.
It's Anchorman.
Which one's the one?
classic.
Oh,
I
it's
can do one. I can
Anchorman.
do one really good. Which one is it?
Let's
Which
hear it.
one is it? It's not Sally Sold. It's the other one. What's the other one?
The
I don't know.
Seashells by the seashore.
What's the other one though? There's another really popular one.
Boy, oh boy,
I don't know.
My
Dude,
tongue
there's so
twister
many of them.
knowledge. For being a radio host, I
Well,
should
for the-
have better tongue
Just for the
twister
record, I can do one.
dictionary. But
Almost came to me. Maybe it'll come to me.
it'll
at
come
one
to you.
point.
Just wait. You guys, so if you haven't got,
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Of course, the woodchuck tongue
Classic.
twister. How could I forget?
Classic.
Man, you both grew up in San Antonio.
Yes. I don't have the honor. I
Oh.
was just complaining about this before. I don't have the honor of saying I was born in San Antonio. I was born in a small little town. It's like the Bernie equivalent to San Antonio, Gainesville, Georgia to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I was born there and then
What was it
shipped
called,
right
though?
over. Gainesville.
Gainesville, Texas,
Gainesville,
or
Georgia.
Georgia, not even
Yes.
Florida, because
So
No.
the Bernie of Atlanta.
The Bernie of Atlanta.
Gotcha,
Well,
gotcha.
Bernie is
Just
to
a
San
little,
Antonio.
a town a little north of.
Yes, little, it's right there. It's almost
Right.
Atlanta, but you're not Atlanta.
Of course.
So, and then my parents migrated over to San Antonio because everybody comes here for the jobs back in the 90s.
For sure.
So,
How old were you when you came from Georgia to San Antonio?
I was 2 years old.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Yes. So, for the most part, I was raised
Mostly
in San
San
Antonio.
Antonio.
Yes.
Yeah. Almost basically born
Almost
here.
born and raised.
but not
Thank you
quite.
for saying that.
I hear you.
Not quite.
And Luke, you were born here, yeah?
I was born and raised San Antonio.
San Antonio proud.
That 2-0 runs on my blood.
Heck yeah. Do you guys want to stay here your whole lives? What do you think?
I
I'm not
Dude.
opposed to it.
Yeah?
I wouldn't mind having a home here forever and
Kinda
I
settling,
could,
yeah.
travel, but I don't. It hurts my heart to think that I would leave
Hmm.
San Antonio.
It sucks because San Antonio is a beautiful city, and I love the city and the people and the culture. There's so much good culture here, and that we grew up with, that I grew up
Yeah.
with, and Sharon too.
Oh.
Sharon too. Sorry,
Of course,
not to
yeah.
exclude, But
Those first 2 years are very important.
Thank
like
you.
L.A. and New York are the big
Yeah.
cities where all the pop stars live,
Oh, you
all
gotta
the
go there
stars
to
up
make it.
everything.
For sure, for sure.
But even if that ends up to being the case, so we end up out there, we're still gonna rep the 2-0, like
Always.
the
Still
same way
home,
that
right?
Right.
Pitbull represents 305 and
Which is
Miami.
Wait, yeah, okay.
Right.
305
Eminem
is
has
Florida, right?
Detroit. Like,
Miami,
They
Florida.
got cigarettes in Florida that are called 305s.
well, that's the area code. So
They are
See?
gross.
not
They
good.
are gross.
Yeah,
They're
I've
not
smoked
good.
one. They're not good. Don't smoke 305s.
Don't smoke cigarettes, fellas.
I feel like I would.
Really, don't smoke cigarettes.
Don't smoke cigarettes.
They're bad for you. Everybody knows it. Don't do it.
Right.
Oh, there's so much better things.
Alcohol is too. Coffee's probably not the best for you. Fast food either.
Everything's gonna hurt you. Just pick your poison.
Right. Yeah. No. That's just a justification we all use. It's like,
Right.
well, I could be eating McDonald's.
Right.
Guess I'll just smoke a pack of 305s.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. That's how it is. That's cool.
I
Man.
wonder, 305s. How long have they been around?
Oh, I don't know. Probably
Wonder
since the
if
90s.
it
Who
was
knows?
Pitbull. If
Nah,
Pitbull
it was-
was-
it's the area code.
Yeah.
It's his own cigarette
would've
company. Yeah.
been-
Oh, jeez.
I would have tried it. Just
No
on
thanks,
that path.
Pitbull. Ah, man. So, okay, you guys. I'm trying to think. It's fun. I love going all over the place with the conversation,
Yes.
where we could
Right.
talk about music and what it means to you and stuff, and we could also talk about life, what life means to you.
Absolutely.
What do you think is, a question I really like to ask? What do you love?
What do I love?
In general,
Just, what do you love?
that's an interesting question.
As weird as it's gonna sound, I do love arguing. I love not having to settle with something, like when somebody brings forward a fact,
Okay.
and I love the thrill of just being able to debate
Yeah,
and
like
to
debate and
to
dialogue
pass
kind of.
back and forth an argument or we reach one common ground.
Sounds like we gotta argue
I
about
don't like,
something.
yes,
Sharon, that's
I would love to. I like, because some people confidently state something, and they believe in it, and I like to be like, well,
kind of a,
oh, well, what about this?
a contrarian sort of, Yeah.
To not only test how positive they are in that opinion, but to see if I can persuade them to think a little more.
Think
openly.
otherwise, sort of. Yeah.
Let's see where we can take it.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I myself am a very agreeable person,
Okay.
and I feel I kind of need to get better at arguing, because when I find someone like wants to debate me on something,
Yeah.
I kind of realize myself being like, well, I'm just not very aggressive,
Yeah.
And there's definitely things I believe in, and I think you should stand up for and speak and proclaim the truth and things.
Right.
But I just really like to hear people out and then kind of try and observe how they view it that way.
Yeah.
Before I go into thinking, you're wrong.
Rebuttals.
You're
Right.
absolutely wrong. Because sometimes I think we can limit ourselves in
Yeah.
conversation with others in an argument, especially
Right.
when we are so set on like thinking that we are right, where it's like, no, there's nothing that they could say that would make me think otherwise.
Right.
Where it's like,
And that's hard.
oh,
to
yeah.
live in that, and it's the way I think, it's the way I want, and that's that.
Yeah, my way or the highway kind of deal.
Right.
Right.
It's a horrible way to
Well, you're robbing yourself of so much,
of so many other opinions, different ways,
Yeah, or just
different views,
different ways to look at things.
Right.
Yeah, Heck yeah.
You are robbing yourself.
What do you love, Luke?
I don't know. I mean, I'm passionate about music and sounds and textures and stuff. I'm kind
Vibrations.
of the opposite of Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon will argue her point and try and let you know how she feels. I'm the opposite. You say something to me and I'm just like, all right, well, I understand that's how this person feels. I'm just gonna mind my business and sit back and
Yeah.
be very relaxed. And that's why we make a good team, because she's not afraid to speak her mind, and I'm kind of
you kinda balance
keep
each
the
other out,
peace.
sorta,
And
yeah.
yeah, it's
He definitely centers me. I
Nice.
could come to him and I'll be like, all these things, and he'd be like, well, if you would have looked at it this way, or if you would have talked to them this
Yeah.
way, and I'm like, you're right, you're right. Yeah. So it is a really good balance, and especially in what we're trying to do, it's a good combination to
Yeah.
keep ourselves grounded, and then also elevate ourselves at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Build each other up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have y'all been making music together?
We started making music just a little after actually a little before he graduated high school.
I would say spring
nice.
of 2014.
14.
Okay.
At the time, I was at a very desperate point in what I wanted to do, so I started to do covers of songs in my garage where, you had that great sound,
Yeah, good echo.
And I did a cover, What's Up by the Four Non-Blondes.
I
And
honestly don't think I've ever heard that song.
there's
You
no
probably
way.
have heard it. It's kind of a meme
pro-
song
And
now.
I said, hey, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I've definitely
You have
heard that song.
You have heard that.
It's a great
So,
song.
yeah, great song.
It's fun, yeah.
And he commented, and he was like, "Oh, you're talented. Like, we should work one day." And then he couldn't get rid of me.
Oh, that's cool.
And we
Oh,
started
right
from
on.
there. I had come over, and it's funny because I think back to him asking me to come work, and he was like, "Well, do you have any original stuff?" And I really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was really focused on doing covers just so people would know I had some type of voice.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I have to do something quick because this guy's asking me to come over and do work, and I don't have anything.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote a song called "Bitch,"
Uh-huh.
and it.
B-I-T-C-H for the radio, I'm just, because I had to blurt it out.
Right. And I it was just a song, about a person you come forward to, and they're just a bitch. They're
In
just-
Sharon fashion, calling out the person that's acting like this and
Yes.
saying, hey, what's going on? Why are you acting like
Yeah,
this?
why
And
are
calling
you-
you out.
and,
The
and
same way she said that's how she
Exactly.
deals with stuff.
That's how I deal with it. I'll just translate it.
You kind of like
into
confrontation
song.
almost.
At as much as I said I love arguing, I don't love confrontation.
Right.
I'm not the one that'll be there and, be like, hey, what are you doing? I'll just jump into a conversation and then be like, rebuttal. But I couldn't tell this certain person you're being a bitch. And so I put it in song and he loved it. And to make it weirder, his parents loved it, and that blew my mind
cool.
that I could write this song about,
I was 17 at the time, and my mom was hearing the song, my dad too, and there's like, hey, that song's badass, like that's a cool song. And
that's cool.
I was like, oh, thanks, I just met this girl, and little did I know she just fucking wrote this song.
I just wrote the song in 10 minutes, before I went to college.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have nothing
Just
to
kind of
to
improv
take.
almost. Yeah.
And that started not only a wonderful friendship, but a beautiful work relationship.
Yeah, artistic collaboration,
yeah.
right?
For sure.
And it
That's
was
awesome.
little did I know at the time he had just been getting started. He wasn't. I thought, oh, this guy does this. He works with other people. He can do
That's
whatever I
cool.
want. So it's weird because I put a lot of almost pressure, I guess, on him to work with me. And while I was almost lighting a fire under his ass, I was lighting one under my own.
Yeah.
And it was just a great, just partnership.
Yeah. That's
where
awesome.
we were elevating each other and didn't even know that's what we were doing for one another.
Yeah. Should we let's listen to one of your songs? Can we do that?
Absolutely.
You wanna tell them a little bit of
Yes.
story about the first single.
Yeah.
This is Voicemail, and this is the first single off my debut album, La Artista. And this song is, I love this song because Luke, and our other roommate, Mike Aguilar, who is an incredibly talented artist. He has his own band that you can check out here in San Antonio. They're called Mike and the Coops, and Luke is the bass player for that band. They had made this beat, I believe they actually titled it Drake type beat.
Something like that. Dude, me and Mike were listening
For sure.
to a lot of Drake and listened to a lot of
Little Drizzy.
Yep.
yeah.
And they made this beat, and there's one time I was with another artist, and we were both trying to write something for the song, and within 10 minutes of hearing the jingle, it immediately came up with this hook, and I just could not stop writing. And then I showed it to them, and they were like, "That's it,"
Oh, that's cool.
And then once we began rolling with it, it just felt natural for this to be the first single of the album. And so, without
Yeah,
further
let's hear it.
Let me just say too, let it be
Yes.
known that we came up with the most of the chords and the drum parts, and then we showed it to Sharon, and she came up with this badass melody, and I was like, well, how can we take this to the next level? We had the melody, we knew how the vocals were supposed to go, and so we added some more synths on top, some more of the trap-esque drums, and to give it that sound. And this is kind of our product that we came up with, and it's a good blend between musicianship and blending it with what's hitting right now, the pop culture and everything. And,
Yeah. Yeah, heck, let's hear it, guys.
let's hear it.
Check it out.
This is Voicemail from Sharon's debut album, La Artista,
La Artista.
out on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you stream music, out now.
Part of me doesn't want to talk over it, A little listening
Your
party.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 210.
How did it end up like this? My mind is racing, my heart's in the night, and I can't stop myself from having the thought you might be out of my life for good. But I can't stop myself from growing. I had to stand tall and live life without you. And if you try to come back, if you hear my line up, I'm sending you straight to voicemail. Answering a fall straight to
That little sound is the iPhone ringtone. In case anybody wonders, we sampled the iPhone ringtone.
That's cool. Don't go bothering me when I show up with the same, and you say what you're missing. these numbers on my cell.
Makes you want to send somebody to
Hope you have
voicemail.
a good
Yeah.
message.
Cuts it
Don't call me.
Don't.
Talk about it in me when I pull up on the scene and you say what you missing.
Man, if you don't pick up this phone, you got me standing out front your mama house looking desperate. I've been trying to call you, just pick up the phone. Let me know what's going on. I can't be standing out here looking like this. Your mama looking to the blind. She think I'm crazy. The neighbors think I'm crazy. I don't know what's going on. Just pick up the phone, man. Pick up the phone, please.
I like that. Oh man, terrific, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask whose voice that was at the end?
That is my friend Reek Savage, who is actually a local rapper here in
Heck
San
yeah.
Antonio. Check out Reek Savage. Reek and Sage, I believe they are, their artist name.
Nice.
Amazing. Incredible art. And I met him through a call center job that I had.
Oh, nice.
And
How
we knew all the
appropriate
same.
at a call center job.
Yeah,
Talking about
exactly.
leaving a voicemail.
And I loved his voice, and I told him, just call me and leave me a voicemail. And then I checked my phone, and he leaves me that. I'm like, oh my God, it's perfect.
That is perfect. Oh, that's so fun.
And again, going back to how we're representing our city at the beginning of that call, at the beginning of the song, you hear the voice message saying, leave a message for number 210, and that's all you hear. You don't hear the phone number, so it's just a little
Little Antonio.
Little nod
San Antonio,
to our-
little nod
the 210
to
countdown
the
city.
'Cause no matter where you are, as long as you hear that 210,
You know. Yeah. You know.
Yep.
Ah, man. That's great, you guys. I enjoyed that a lot.
thank you.
Yeah. And that was the first, like, you've already released that
Yes,
track, right?
that was the first single. It's already
Yeah.
out everywhere. That
Nice.
was the first little taste. I wanted to have. It's hard because you hear that song and you hear pop. You hear what everyone's doing. So when we did the second single, I wanted to make sure that it was a song that was completely polar opposite. So where they would
For
know
sure.
we're not gonna be a pop. I'm not a pop artist. I can't be a pop artist. And neither none of us are in a box.
Yeah,
I
you wanna-
can't put Luke in a box. I can't put Mike in a box, and I refuse to put myself in a box.
Totally.
We just want to do it all because we can.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And that's the beauty of music too, is just the
Yes.
diversity of it all, like of genre even, you know.
Right.
There's so many places you can go
100%.
with sound. It's amazing.
It
We've got
is.
just we've got like 2 minutes here in this first segment
Love
before
it.
we send it to another song. That was voicemail from
Yes. Correct.
La Artiste.
La artista.
Artista.
La Artista.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Out on Valentine's Day, 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen. What a treat it was. And don't go anywhere because we're going to come right back. We got one more song, I think, that we're going to listen to
sure
in
do.
that second hour. That's coming right up, friends. But before that, we're going to send it to another song, just along with the regular programming of Oops, I Missed Church. I don't know what song it's going to be quite yet, but you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Such a pleasure to have you. And we'll be right back.
Yes.
Be right back, fellas.
Be right back, fellas.
3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
fellas.
It's the second hour of Oops, I Missed Church right here on KMZN and YouTube. What a delight. I've got with me, returning, Luke and Sharon. Thank
back.
you for sharing with us.
Aha.
Love
Look, Luke over here. Yeah, too many,
Almost.
Almost.
That was almost cool.
All right.
too
Calm
much.
down. Calm down.
You're right. So, amazing things happening. You, not yesterday, but the day before, released your debut album.
Yes.
Amazing. And it is called La Artista.
Yes.
Correct.
La
I couldn't
Artista.
get it this time.
Heck yeah. You guys, are you bilingual?
Yes, actually. Well,
She more than me. I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
I hear you.
I try to talk to him sometimes in only Spanish to see if he will, just take it off in
Yeah.
English or understand what I'm trying to tell him. But I am, my whole, actually.
Give a shout out to
Yes,
your
let me
hometown.
give a shout out. So,
Let's hear it.
not born and raised, but raised here in San Antonio. I do have in honor. Oh wait, wrong arm.
Huh?
Other
San
side.
Antonio, right here.
Oh, nice. The skyline, yeah.
San Antonio skyline. But originally, my entire family is from Monterrey, Nuevo León.
Oh, nice.
Saludo para todos los regios de Monterrey.
Yes, saludo.
Okay.
Monterrey.
Heck yeah.
So my parents refused for me to speak English in the household.
Oh, wow.
And I learned English just through school. So even though I advanced in English, my parents would not have it if I spoke to
Man.
them in English.
That's kinda
It
cool,
would
though.
be to the point where I would tell them, "Hey, what's for dinner?" And they'd be like,
I didn't
"¿Qué me
hear you."
dijiste? What was that? And I would be like, ¿Qué vamos a comer? Like, what are we gonna eat? You know, like it was to that point where they'd be like, they would not even acknowledge me if I spoke in English.
Yeah.
So, but that made me want
So,
to learn English even
Yeah.
more.
No, that's a good way to compel a person to be bilingual, you know?
To refuse,
I'm not gonna listen to
not
you speak
acknowledge
another
their
one.
existence, especially your loving parents.
Yeah, man, I'm not bilingual, but I would love to be. But
That'd be great.
too.
I feel like it's such a, once you outgrow like childhood, learning another language seems to sort of just gain a whole new difficulty
Yes.
almost, you know?
I try to learn French, which
I
is
tried
a
for
lot
3
of
years in high
languages are
school.
very similar to Spanish, but it's not any
Yeah.
easier at all.
Yeah, I think language is fascinating. Just all the
Yes.
different words we have for stuff. And-
Isn't it kind of messed up that if you hear somebody speaking another language about you, not about you, another language, you automatically assume it is about you?
Yeah, that's an easy thing to do. And
It is.
and yeah, I
It
don't
annoys
know.
me about myself. I'll be there and I'll be like,
What are they saying? What's wrong with me?
what's wrong with
Yeah.
me right now that they're speaking about me right next to me? Because
That's-
I know me and my mom do it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Almost.
I don't know if I haven't had that fear as much because I try not to.
I guess,
you know,
I have
like-
the fear because I know that me and my mom were like, can you
You're just
believe
gossiping in other languages?
Can you believe this one next to us?
I've heard a lot of girls mention that when they go to get their nails done.
Oh,
You know,
man.
they feel like
Yeah.
all the sweet women that are doing the
Yes.
pedicures and
The
manicures
amazing women that are
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a service to you are
of
just,
course, just talking all kinds
who
of
are
trash.
we? How are
And they're
that
probably
makes you
not,
think.
really.
No,
They're really
but
probably not.
You get self-conscious. You're like, what did they just say about my cuticles? How often am I supposed to actually cut my nails? Like,
It's kind of frustrating how easy it is to be self-conscious
yeah.
and like have a low self-esteem, you know?
And this time, especially,
This
when
time?
everything is about,
Image
image
Mm.
and how together you are.
Presentation and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah, we were talking about social media and stuff
Yeah.
earlier off air. That's a topic that seems to always come up in conversations. And maybe
sure.
it's just because it's so like deeply rooted in all of our lives in some way now,
Right.
you know, just by being alive in 2020. And it's annoying and convenient, right?
Yeah.
At the same time.
So we agreed upon.
Yeah.
right.
Oh man.
Where you can totally, us being so privileged of being, in all, truth, nobody's in the eyes of the world, but we can do the work, make the music, publish the music. I can have my song in the same place that Drake,
Yeah.
Queen, Metallica, these amazing artists have their music, and it's going to be there because the power of technology allows you to pay a small little fee and then, go
Be-
do it.
Included, yeah.
And while it's ugly, you have big rock bands who talk down on Pro Tools and, how easy nobody plays the music from beginning to end. You can cut and do.
Oh,
these
just
things.
because of all the tools now.
Right.
there are.
And it's totally, on one hand, completely understandable. You can be like, yeah, of course. But then it's like, well, anybody, even we have the chance to do it no matter what.
Yeah, it just opens up so much more opportunity for
Right.
people. And I think it's pretty easy to be sort of a music snob for a lot of folks that were like maybe classically trained or, like started playing music when they were little and didn't have all the technology that we have today where
Right.
they feel it has to be something more. But then that's something that I think about too is how like so many people are DJs, because like
Yes.
what a cool opportunity for a person to make music and
It's right
actually have
there.
it be enjoyed by other people, where you're really doing it all electronically.
Yeah. And while it's easy, it's at the same time you go to these people's shows and it's the energy is incredible.
Yeah, and there's still it's still a craft to be
Right.
learned, you know?
And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's energy. It's being with, we've had shows where only 4 or 5, 3 people might be there, but they're loving it. They're engaged. They're there the whole time. They come up to you after, and that's all that matters. It matters way more than having 50, 100 people, because they shared that moment with you and they understand what you're doing and they loved it, and it validates what you're doing,
Yeah.
Kind of going off what you were saying, Micah, that it's such a technology-based, realm now that we, even in this album, we try to split it up. Like we have half of the songs are all electronic based and, electronic drums and synthesizers and all that stuff. Then the other half is genuinely us, playing instruments, whether it's me or my friend Mike, my roommate Mike, us playing the guitar and the drums and the bass and coming up with music that, touches what's inside of us. And there's a big difference between, sitting at the keyboard and going, ba, ba, okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
As opposed to having the guitar
Adding
in your
some
hand and
drums
being like, all right, well, play the drums like this. And,
Yeah, there's
I'd
so
like to
many
say
layers.
It's
right?
Great.
it's a good mix of,
Yeah. And bouncing off that, it's awesome. It's amazing that people are about to hear what we've been doing. But to me, the best feeling is sitting in our living room where we did everything with him, Luke, and with Mike, and just being like, we did this.
Yeah.
We did this.
To have sort of a representation of
Yeah.
your creativity and
it's on
actual
both sides.
effort.
It's
Right.
the electronic, pop side that everybody's doing nowadays.
Everyone's
but it's
doing it,
The
and we can do
musicality
it.
of the three of us working together and
Right.
coming up with original, stuff on the guitar and the drums and the bass. And, even Sharon, like she was saying earlier off camera, like she picked up the bass now. And there's a
Right.
couple of tracks where she just recorded the bass. And she's like, hey, Mike, Luke, we have this, like, I have this. What else can we come up with? And so Mike will come up with the drums and
That's great.
come up with some
Yeah.
guitar and just make it work. Like
Piece it together.
It's a
Sometimes-
collective.
Sometimes you don't think you have anything. You're like, hey, what do you think about this? And then all of a sudden he'll whip out his guitar and do this incredible riff that just makes it. And Mike will get home and he's like, hey, what are y'all working on? And then all of a sudden jump on the drum. It's
That's so cool. How long have y'all lived together?
a year. Almost 2
Year.
years in November.
A year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half.
More or less.
Him,
Call it a year. plus.
Mike and Luke have been working together for 2.5 years. So I met Mike through Luke, and Luke and I, along with being partners in music, he's my best friend. He's like my brother. So when we were just talking about having a space where we can move in together and strictly work on music. That be our focus. And we have an amazing opportunity where we could have a house, and we had one extra room, and we were debating, going back and forth, who should be the extra roommate, whatever. And he was like, well, there's Mike. It was very like, he does what we do, and it could be good.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then it was
Just to live.
Electric.
Like-minded people working together for a common goal. And
right. We all have one goal in mind, and then we're at the same time we're the best of friends.
sounds like
Yeah.
we're making a fucking pitch for
Like
for communist
Right.
fucking Russia. We all work together for a common goal. Come out and
it's
but, that's how it is. Like,
it's funny
That's
because
funny.
it comes later in life where you take a step back and you go, you're married with kids, whatever, and you're like, wow, that time in my life was really great. I had that, but I'm very thankful that in this moment, every single day, I'm like, this is the best time of my life. This is
Oh, that's cool.
happening. Working on the album, there was one time they're in a separate band together, and then they kept doing things with this band, whatever. And I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, they're not helping me. I'm not doing anything. What do I do? And I asked him, like, just teach me how to do GarageBand, for all you people who have Macs out there, everyone mainly knows. And he taught me really quick, and they left, and I did this song, which has actually made it on the album, out of pure frustration and and the urge to get this out. And that was the first time that everybody kind of came together, and we were like, oh my, let me do this, and I have this. And I remember taking a step back, and I went to my room. I don't even think they know this. I went to my room, and I took 4 like really deep breaths because I felt something really special in that room. Some crazy energy, and it was like those moments where you're like, I am in the exact place at the exact time where I should be, and this is what should be happening. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's something that can happen with creativity and, like just creating things alone.
Yeah.
There's like some mystical aspect to it. I remember a time in high school writing a song with a friend at we started writing it at like midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we were up until 4 a.m. But we didn't even realize all the time that had gone by because
Right.
it didn't
Yes.
feel like any time had passed.
Yes.
We were just having so
That's
much
us
fun.
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
You're
No,
right.
that's cool. Well, because I feel like there's a way to almost escape the boundary of time in some ways
Yeah.
when you're creating
Yeah.
and so caught up in the experience of creating
Beautifully
something
said,
that it
by
kind
the
of
way.
releases you from the burden of time,
Yeah.
Micah with the wise words tonight.
I love that.
Well said.
Well
said.
said.
Thanks, you guys. You're
It
too
i-
kind. That's why I
it
brought you
is.
here, actually.
Yeah.
Just to compliment me.
Just to, right.
Yeah.
Just to say that you
No.
had this planned out before
That's-
we even walked in.
I like that. That's something cool to think about.
It is.
Should we listen to that song now? Or what do you think? I'm trying to think of...
Yeah, we can hear it and then talk
We
about it a
have-
little
Yeah.
bit.
So which one are we gonna do?
I don't know. There's some options here.
There are some options.
More Motown or more... What was the other?
Or 70s porno.
porno.
Oh, right,
Ish.
okay.
If you want to hear funk.
I'm kind of curious about... Have you guys seen that movie Boogie Nights? That's what inspired the song, kind of? That's kind of what it feels like to me.
That is what inspired.
Wow,
that
yeah.
was my vision, and it's still my vision.
That's
for
a
the,
crazy
for the
movie.
music video.
Oh, wow.
And I'm
yeah.
gonna.
You're going to get Mark Wahlberg?
One could only hope and dream
Oh,
and
that's funny.
manifest. Mark, if
Maybe.
you're out there, please be in my video.
Are we... hey,
I think we should do me good.
Do Me Good.
Good.
That's the name of this song. Okay. On Oops, I Missed Church by
Miss Sharon.
Miss
Miss
Sharon.
Sharon.
Miss Sharon.
Yes.
We're doing it, MJ, the song.
I bet it's been a long time. Years since you know.
Ooh.
Real
fun
funky,
bass
baby.
line,
Real
yeah.
funky.
There's one thing I can't keep from thinking about when we're
That's so fun.
alone.
I like how different it is from the last song we heard, you know?
Contrast.
Exactly.
It's magic.
On mine. Move a little closer to my side of the bed. I'll do things true, yeah, I keep only in my head. Make you feel good. Make you feel
This is
right.
good. This is very groovy. That's what we look for.
Yeah, it's got good groove.
Feel
A little bit psychedelic, a little groovy.
Make you feel right, make you feel nice, make you feel good. So do me like you do me, 'cause you do me so good. Can barely keep myself from tearing off all your clothes. I'm going crazy.
fun.
Do me like you do me, 'cause you do me so
Yeah,
Ladies and
funky,
gentlemen,
baby,
a
funky.
song from Miss Sharon off the debut album out last Friday,
Yeah.
La Artista.
Yes. Look at you.
La Artista. And that was their song, Do Me Good.
Correct.
A groovy track for you.
Yes. 'Cause-
Reminiscent of Boogie Nights.
yes.
Makes me think of William H. Macy
Ooh.
and that crazy scene when he runs into the
Yes.
spoil it,
No,
friends.
don't spoil it. Oh my goodness.
crazy movie.
But the no. What's that scene? The scene where they're
I don't know.
picking up something. It's that one song that plays where this guy's like
boy.
losing his mind. It's towards the end, and it's the most anxiety-ridden scene.
You know, I've only seen it one time. Sorry.
It's okay.
Um,
So we're scheduling a time.
So you're coming
to
over
watch the
afterwards.
movie.
Okay,
We're in the
right.
house after this.
Big night.
Man, that's what's fun, ladies and gentlemen, as you're hearing this, it's Sunday afternoon in
Yes.
Iowa. And as it's being recorded, it's 1 in the morning.
Something
And
like that.
Isn't that wild? It's a pre-recorded broadcast brought especially to you, the lovely listener, wherever you are. We don't care. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
Friends, do you think there's a meaning to life?
Oh, we're just going off the deep end here. That's
I'm
a deep question.
very
I don't-
glad. That was like
do you
the
think?
inside the actor studio at the end when he asks, "When you get to the gates of heaven, what would you like to hear God say?" I love that.
It's a fun question.
Is there a meaning to life? I've thought a lot about this.
I hope
have.
so. I think everybody should.
At one point, I strongly thought it was to just learn,
Yeah.
to learn, to make mistakes. It's not about figuring it out. You'll figure it out at the end. You'll figure it out when you go, when you cross over, I feel. I don't think you're supposed to figure it out during this time. I think you're supposed to learn. I think you're supposed to mess up.
So you're saying we get there and then we're like, oh,
And
this
then
is-
you
this
figure
is
it
how
out.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I mean,
That's when the real figuring out comes.
yeah, I mean, I've shared experiences to open up my mind,
Okay.
and you go through a lot of ego-ridden questions. You go through a lot of who am I? What is my place in this earth? What is my place
Yeah.
in humanity?
Is there a reason to it all?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I genuinely don't think I'll find the answer in this lifetime. I think I'll find the answer when I go. I think if there'd be like a compare, like, I've been through so many insane, like, I've described it as, like, almost as if you reach for random words and like put together this like messed up sentence, and that's what I've been through in life, So, and through it, even though I've gone through these crazy things, I've always learned. I've always been stronger.
Yeah, you've seen good come out of it, right?
You watch people go through things that are not nearly as bad as what you've been through, and you're like, well, you see it clearly. You're not panicking. You're able to lend a hand. And
Yeah,
be
and
like,
some empathy, right?
empathy, peace, love, and empathy. Key.
Good qualities.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
And so I would say the meaning of life is to learn.
Okay, I like it.
Yes.
I can dig it.
Thank you.
I was told once to remain forever teachable, and that's kind of that same idea.
Wow.
same idea. You can learn.
Just always be
being willing to
ready to
and-
learn. Yeah. Heck yeah.
That's
same
a
idea.
that sounds better than what I said.
Well, no, you're good. You're good. It's good to learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the meaning of life has a lot to do with relationships, but I
Yeah.
think it's also just a big old bowl of soup. That's
Yeah.
hard to understand.
Because you can always, pin things together of your, how you connected with a certain person, how you came to be. And it'll always, you think you can make sense of things. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it is, what's the word? Serendipity?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, kind of like chance or
Yeah.
coincidence. See, yeah, what do you guys think about, because it's called Oops, I Missed Church, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about God or the idea of God? And I'm not trying to like,
We were
know,
just
I'm just-
talking about this the other night. I randomly asked him what he thought.
I think you look across God's, without revealing my own viewpoint, you look across all the gods of certain religions, and I mean, the baseline is the same. Be good to each other, you know, just, and the other part, don't be a dick. Like, just,
yeah.
you know, take care of each other. They say it's the golden rule, treat others how you would like to be treated.
Yeah, love your neighbor as yourself.
It's not that hard. I mean, all the rest of it is specifics according to whatever you believe in, but at the end of the day, it's simple. And just be good to others and, you know, love each other.
Yeah.
And so whatever, you know, may be right. I don't know what the answer is, but I think it's all, no matter what you pick, it's the same idea. Be good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I feel that.
no matter what.
can
There's
dig
a
it.
comfort. I've always thought there's a genuine comfort in telling children, you know, who have the fear of what happens when you die. Oh, you go to heaven and you go with God. You know, it's almost like the same comfort as Santa Claus in my mind. And not trying to compare God to Santa Claus.
No. But I get what
But
you're
it
saying.
is like a very like it feels easy to be like, you know, instead of being like, well,
I think that's why a lot of folks have a hard time with the whole idea of God, because they're like, well, he's just like freaking Santa Claus. Like,
yes.
My parents told me about him to make me feel good or whatever, you know?
and we're supposed to believe, but you get over Santa Claus. You never get over.
Hey, but even with Santa Claus,
God.
hey, be good and you'll get
And
the
then you'll
presents.
get something,
You're bad,
right?
oh,
and,
then
and it's all
you
and
get the coal.
And it's
Yeah,
and it is
it's
a great way to tell kids, you know, be good because God is judging you, and if you're not good, then you'll go
Yeah,
to
which
a
I
place
get-
where you don't want to go. You know,
It's such a tricky thing.
it
'cause-
is, and I do believe it gets trickier when you have children, because right now we're in a place where
For
we're
sure.
in our mid-20s and we have we're childless.
Yeah.
We have the freedom to try to think for ourselves. But once you have children, well, now you have to mold somebody, and you have to have a belief.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some foundation to give them, you know, to have comfort in this crazy existence, that you're not forever. You will go. That's the one thing
Death
we
is
all
certain,
have in
right?
common. The one thing, and that one thing that makes life even.
We're all gonna
We're
die.
all gonna die, Hanny.
Yeah.
And that's all good.
It's some of my favorite things to think about and
Yeah.
talk about. Because I love the idea of a God and creator.
100%.
And this idea, more beyond just the idea of like a comfort, you know?
Yeah.
And like a security and like, oh, life is hard. I'll believe in God, so it's a little easier, you know? But as almost this like source or wellspring of where all goodness and love and creativity come from in the first place, where then it's like we each have a part of that inside of us that we were created with in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's what so much of the meaning of life is learning how to connect like your part of God with the divine spark in each of us is meant to connect with the divine spark in each of us, you know? And just because I think there's such a beauty to connectivity and how wildly just connected. I'm trying to think of another word other than connected, but everything's just so crazy intricate and like even just you being a guest today, right?
Yes.
I met Karen, a friend of yours, a mutual
I love
friend,
you, Karen.
at a random karaoke night one
Yes.
night.
By the way, karaoke night, was that for a girl named Brooklyn and Purple Palooza?
It may have been.
I think
It's difficult for me to
was.
remember.
I'm gonna leave that out there. Purple Palooza
Okay.
raised money for pancreatic cancer by a beautiful artist named Brooklyn Michelle. But
Shout out Brooklyn.
yes, and if it was, that makes it even more.
That's even
intricate.
cooler, yeah.
Yes, but Karen, continue.
Oh yeah, well it's just so cool that like even you two being here and being so
Yes.
willing to stay up late and record a conversation.
Absolutely.
It's I just love it because who knew if we would ever meet in the first place, you know?
Yeah.
And it's all because I randomly met someone else, you know? And
Right.
you could call it coincidence and chance and stuff, but I really do feel there's a beautiful intentionality to it all, you know? Where perhaps there is, you know, this divine, loving creator that's actually like, you know what? I want all my kids to help each other, you know? I love it.
Yeah.
But we can talk about all kinds of things, guys. We got about
Yes.
10 minutes left, 10, 12 minutes left.
Awesome.
What are, you got shows coming up?
We actually might soon. I don't want to put an exact date out
Okay.
because I don't want to be wrong. But we
sure.
do have a opportunity coming up here, actually locally. If you've ever been to the St. Mary's Strip, have you ever been to the St. Mary's
I have
Strip?
indeed.
Awesome.
It is
Well,
a street in San Antonio, listeners.
Yes, yes.
Filled-
It's a street in San Antonio filled with a lot of opportunities.
A lot of
For
opportunities.
lack of a better word, opportunity everywhere. For no matter what you want to
Well,
a
do.
no
lot
matter
of
what you want to appear,
bars
DJ,
to play music at.
There are some bars. If you're an
A lot
artist,
of bars to dance at.
there are some
Yeah.
bars. If you just want to go out in the town, drink for
That's the place where
cheap
people would go.
and love it.
Is that where y'all? Where do you hang
So
out
it's-
the most? Do you think? But I didn't mean to interrupt
yes,
you.
actually, no. Let me give a shout out.
Right.
We
Okay.
hang out the most at Hondro's Patio
no.
Bar.
Hondro's Patio Garden.
Hondro's.
Shout
if
out.
you're ever in San Antonio,
Hondro's, pay me.
Iowans.
Iowans.
Iowans. If you're
Yeah.
ever in San Antonio, Texas, please come out to Hondro's Patio Bar. It's a beautiful art bar. That's mainly what he wanted to be in it, and it's just an awesome environment.
Great place for music. Yeah.
Great place for music, and
Met lots
our
of friends
own
playing music
You know,
there.
Luke Salas plays bass in Mike and the Coops, and they play
Heck
there
yeah.
as often as they possibly can. It's great. But speaking of St. Mary's, on the Strip as well as the Paper Tiger, which
course.
historically, if you're not from San Antonio, used to be the White Rabbit.
Oh.
And I would like to put that out there because it's important
Uh-huh.
to our culture. It used to be a very
Heavy metal,
Rock,
alternative,
Right.
venue.
rock and roll venue.
dirty.
I never knew it as
Disgusting.
that, but I've known it as
Yes.
Paper Tiger.
But Paper Tiger has now become, the
cleaned
place
it up
where-
and brought some pop, indie pop, alternative,
You
and-
know, that's where you go, and it's also a great venue that not only gives a hand to up and coming artists nationwide, but local.
Yeah.
So another great bar that's just across the street, Midnight Swim, who have locally given so many opportunities. Have you heard of Midnight Swim?
Yeah, I've gone. It's a little hard to get around for me.
Oh
It's
yes.
so crowded.
Oh, no, for sure, yeah.
100
And I love to dance,
It's up and
but-
coming, so it's been
For sure.
packed. But I actually don't see that clearing up anytime soon. I hope it doesn't even clear up.
Yeah, no. Gotta have the
They
crowds,
deserve
right? Mm-hmm.
that crowd. So the people who started that bar, they have given a platform to so many local artists here in San Antonio, and it seems like they're not trying. Everybody just wants to get out of here. Everyone wants to go to California, New York, and so that makes you appreciate the people that want to stay in San
Stick
Antonio.
around, yeah.
They want to build it up.
It is cool how many people are coming here too, though.
Yeah.
Because I've met so many people from all over the country and
Yes.
world, even here in San Antonio.
Right.
And I love it.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite parts to it.
That being said, so at Paper Tiger, some Sunday on March, we'll probably give all the info on my page if you want to follow me. My name is
Do your plug now.
Sharon. Miss Sharon. That's MS Sharon SHARON.
MS Dot.
MS
Dot.
dot. And Sharon, it's SHXRXON. Oh wait, N. Just put X's
N.
instead of vowels, people.
You'll
Okay,
find
that
it.
makes sense.
You'll
You'll
Yeah.
find it.
You'll find it.
Miss Sharon.
Can
and
listen to a record.
Yes, you
Spotify.
can listen to my record.
Spotify,
Just put Miss
iTunes,
on Spotify, on Apple
Music,
Music,
all
on
of
any streaming platform, YouTube. Go ahead and just search Miss MS Sharon, spelled normally, and you'll find me. And I'll have all the information about shows that we're going to do, so you can come check us out live or just hang
yeah.
out with us. We love to just blend with our people.
Yeah. I love that.
Yes. Thank you.
That's one of my favorite things just about the music and art communities is the blending that happens. You
Yes.
know? All the people you meet.
Bigger.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great to not want to go see big artists when they're in town, and you want to go see your local artists.
Just local bands, yeah.
That's awesome. That's happening in San Antonio right now. It's
A
all
lot, yeah.
coming together, and it's awesome to see. And we're in the first year of this new decade, and I think it's
Whoa,
going
whoa.
to be crazy for San Antonio.
By the time 2030 comes around, San Antonio is going to be
It's
They're building a bunch more skyscrapers, I guess, and stuff.
right. In
Man,
the
it's gonna
past
be
2
wild.
years, we've seen skyscrapers.
skyscrapers.
That makes me ask. That's funny. What? First of all, how has 2020 been for each of you? So far, we're only 2 months in.
For me personally, 2020, I had a lot of faith in it. I had a rough start, but
Don't
things are
give up
turning.
so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
we're only 2 months in,
yeah.
buddy.
Oh yeah.
The first month was not what I expected, but the second month has been more promising, and there's a lot more opportunities going on, and I feel better about it in February here, 2020, than the beginning of it. But I still have faith in the year and the decade.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff is coming this way. So
Heck yeah.
It's been.
It's been a ride.
It's already been a ride. We're 2 months in, but it has been a ride.
It's been a yo-yo. Sometimes we're going up, sometimes
Yeah.
we're going down.
But
I hear you.
especially with today, it has been way more exciting.
Oh,
And
cool.
with the album coming out, it almost feels like we're in the midst of something huge.
Yeah.
And
A new kind of breakthrough
I don't want to downplay that either. Even
Yeah.
if it's if people don't respond to it the way we have, I in my heart feel like this is one of the most important moments of my entire life, and I feel like we're like just getting started. Like there's like a rush, you know.
Yeah.
And and you know, hearing that it's been rough for him, you know, it almost like lights a even bigger fire under me to like make sure that it's not going to be rough for him, to make sure that it's like, no.
The same way for me too. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, this sucks, but I want to,
Yeah.
take advantage of this. Like, I'm not one to stay down. Like,
Yeah.
So we're both very like, let's take advantage of this
Yeah,
time. like,
it's just about like, nope, we're going up.
Got stuff to learn, right?
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and I'll help him out as much as he can. And God, I am so happy that you let him sit in,
Oh, of course, yeah.
because
I'm glad you brought him.
it would
good,
have been
Luke.
great, you know, just me and you, but he's
It's good. It's
he's
fun.
the reason I'm even here.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been right to not have him there.
No, I appreciate you guys.
appreciate the
Thank
love.
How much you
Yeah.
build each other up, you know? I think so often it's easy to like tear our friends down, kind of, even if it's
Yeah.
jokingly, you know?
Right.
Because you pick on
Which
your
we
friends
do.
and talk
Right.
trash.
Don't get it.
For sure,
Don't
for
get
sure.
a mistake. And I hate him.
Of course, right? But like that's the thing where there's a tenderness to that, where like
Yes.
you're poking fun and stuff.
Right.
But then just to hear you guys encourage each other and build each
Yeah.
other up, that's so nice. Because, heck yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh.
Look at the elbow. Look at the elbow.
Little
That's the
weak
key.
sauce. Okay,
There
it
you
was.
go. Hope you all can hear that at home.
I'm just gonna cut that out.
It's my left hand. It wasn't fair.
We're not quite to 30 minutes here, but we can wrap things up. I'm going to give each of you an opportunity. What do you have to share with us? Any closing remarks? Anything encouraging you'd like to leave the listeners with, the viewers, if you will? You know,
Listeners or the viewers.
Luke will go first.
advice even, you know? What
Let
do
me
you
just. I'll just say what I always say. You know, Sharon hears it all the time. Mike hears it. Everybody that lives with me, everybody that's involved in my life hears the same thing. I always have the same advice. Like, life's gonna test you. It's gonna suck. It's gonna kick your ass. You're gonna want to quit sometimes, but you gotta keep that head up because no one's gonna fight for you more than you'll fight for yourself. So, if you want to be miserable, then yeah, you're gonna be miserable. But you have a good system of friends around you, like I do, and even sometimes when I'm feeling my worst, like she'll shoot me a text or Mike or somebody. Like everybody's looking out for each other, and that's what I want to see. I want to see more positivity and having people support each other because there's so much negativity enough going on around the world and even here, just locally or nationally, however you want to think about it. There's always something to be upset about, something to be outraged about, but you got to look a little bit closer and see, in your daily life, how are your friends doing? How are your family doing? Check in on people and make sure they're okay. And we're all in this together. At the end of the day, no one does it by themselves. And I've learned that, working through with everybody that I've worked with, we're all a team. So all I ask is, look out for your teammates and take care of each other.
Yeah. That's
my
brilliant.
statement to the
No,
world.
that's
Hope you
good.
guys appreciate that. But
At the back.
Heck yeah.
Sharon,
Man.
you have words of wisdom?
What do we got, Sharon? And make sure you're getting close to that mic. We want to hear you.
Yes. Here. Man. All right. What do I want to share?
Share it. Yeah.
Spotlight to the
Go
world.
ahead.
You know what? As much as I want to, give a beautiful speech like Luke did, I feel like Luke did it. So I want to take this time to give a very loving message to my mom.
Oh, nice.
And I hope that when you guys listen to this, wherever you are, that you feel like giving the same message to your mother. My mother went through a lot of crazy things, a lot of insane, unbelievable things throughout her childhood and her youth and her marriage and then, being a mother. And she always taught me to never take no for an answer. Never take no for an answer. And it has pushed me more than she'll ever know. And I don't think, as much as we have special days where you dedicate the day to your mother and everyone loves their mom, you really have to take a step back and realize how much sacrifice is taken. And I never went through a time, I personally never went through a time where I was a teenager and I hated my mom. I always loved my mom. I wanted to be my mom. I am my mother. I
She
am.
really is.
Okay.
I am. And every single step that I take in society's eyes is completely wrong. Completely wrong. And it is. But my mother is always right there saying, you're happy. So it's not wrong. You're not, I went through a very difficult time where, as many other people my age and many other people of all ages gone through depression and unfortunately suicidal and extreme thoughts. But so it panics your mother. So my mom let go of what she thought she should hold a standard to me and let me be. And that ride, even though it was messy and all over the place, has brought me to who I am right now in this very moment. I am clear. I am determined. I am a powerful woman. And whether you're a powerful man, no matter what, there's female energy there behind it. And I'm going to take that moment to thank my beautiful mother, my grandmother, my great-grandma, every woman that has built me up to be here. Thank you, because thank you. And so, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it.
Let me shout out Michelle Salas,
That's
too, for taking
Yes,
care of me.
Michelle.
Gotta take care of my mom.
All the mothers.
Shout out my dad, too. Put the pride in me to keep going. I'll give the same thing. Thank you, guys.
Man,
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
you guys,
Thank you.
thank you both so much.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure.
Yes.
So thankful that you were willing to do this. Ladies and gentlemen,
Anytime.
their album,
La Artista.
Miss Sharon, out last Friday. Go check it out, please.
Please.
La Artista.
Spotify, YouTube,
All over
Apple
the world.
Music, all
We'll
of
be
that kind
everywhere.
of stuff.
Miss Sharon. MS.Sharon.
Perfect. It's so wonderful to be here with you, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, fellas.